Welcome back to GirlChatSports. It has been quite some time since we recorded.
We had a little hiatus.
We traveled a little bit. We worked.
We lived.
We had life. Live, love, life, laugh, right? Welcome back to GirlChatSports. So we are officially back. This is episode 48, and we have 85 days left until the football season.
And counting.
If you're not counting yet, please join us. 85 more days. Also, huge news broke today for Las Vegas and basically all boxing and MMA fans. Mayweather-McGregor is actually happening August 26th here in Las Vegas. MGM Resort or MGM Grand Garden Arena.
I thought I heard it was T-Mobile.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I know maybe I could be wrong. However, August 26th, it's happening here in Las Vegas. So book your flights, book your hotels. You can't stay with me. That's what's happening.
Crazy.
We are really excited also. We've got a great guest coming on the second half, Jessica Ng. She is an awesome women's hockey player, but she played a lot with men. And can we tell you she's a goalie, and she has all of her teeth, just so you know.
And she's small, too, so
and
this is crazy.
Small. We can't wait to talk to her. If her Instagram handle doesn't tell you enough to come back, it's Thug Pow Chicken. Yes, Thug Pow Chicken. Anyway, we're back. Steph, you're doing good?
Yeah, doing well. It's hot in Vegas.
Man, it's about to be blazing this weekend. We're talking like triple digits, 112. I'm trying to be outro. Anyway, so I'm still upset. There's no football. Now there's no hockey. Now there's no basketball. Literally, I have the WNBA. Canadian football is going to start, I think, towards the end of June. And although my Mariners are doing great, they've kind of taken a turn. So I don't know about baseball right now. But in some NFL news, what I thought was so Eddie Lacy, this is the guy we told you about before. Obviously, the running back from the Packers that we got traded over to the Seahawks. He was a little bit above weight. You know, they called him feast mode for a little while because of his large size. Part of his incentive bonus with the Seahawks is to lose weight. So he had made his first weight by getting under 255 pounds back in May and got the first little chunk of change. Well, this last weigh-in, which was in the beginning of June, he had to weigh under 250. He also got that, so he made $55,000. Like, please, can someone just give me $2,000 to lose 5 pounds? I would work so much harder with my trainer, Mr. Mike. I swear I would do better. But alas, no one's breaking me off any money, so therefore, it's not happening as good. But I actually follow Eddie Lacy, and shout out to Eddie Lacy. He is working hard. I'm talking P90X, the Beachbody systems. You see him on like his deck with his laptop working out. I mean, he's going full force. And I guess with the incentive money, who wouldn't, right?
Right.
So that's pretty cool. I'm excited for that. There was a big hoopla over the last month because we really haven't talked to you guys in over a month, I think. Kaepernick was working out in Seattle for the Seahawks. I was hopeful. I know a lot of my friends, even though we're huge 49er haters, we are Kaepernick. We're proud of Kaepernick and what he's done over the last year, and we're just still upset that he hasn't been picked up by anybody. So we were hopeful that the Seahawks would do it. However, I think due to some salary restraints, with the Seahawks and stuff, we weren't able to sign him. And it sounds like Pete Carroll wanted him to actually go be a starter somewhere because we know he wasn't going to be a starter for Seattle. So our best for Kaepernick, and hopefully he gets picked up and is able to start for somebody this season.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So I think that's about it for my guys.
Yeah. Hey, well, Cowboys news. Did you hear that?
We're done. That's it. I'm just kidding.
Did you hear that Des Bryant actually tweeted Darrelle Revis to ask him to potentially come to Dallas?
I mean, but do you really want Revis? Because it was like his last year or so in the league, it was like his island had officially sunk. So do you really want to bring the island out the water, have it waterlogged? I don't know. I'm asking questions.
We have some potential discipline looming for Nolan Carroll for his recent DUI arrest over Memorial Day.
Lord.
And our round 3 pick, Jordan Lewis, has some legal concerns over some domestic violence allegations.
Uh-huh.
So with them in murky waters and potential injuries, there might be a spot for him.
Well, at least Ezekiel Elliott's keeping his hands off people's breasts in the offseason so far lately.
Yeah, so far. But speaking of Zeke, apparently during the 3-day mandatory minicamp. Apparently, they were the whole team were given Stetson cowboy hats.
Oh my gosh.
In the locker room, and Zeke made a joke to Dak. I'm going to give you this hat to cover your hairline.
Ooh, maybe he could join LeBron James Hair Club.
Another funny story at the Cowboys, wide receiver Ryan Switzer. He's a pretty small dude, 5'8", 181 pounds. He was doing an evening workout on Sunday, and the security guard mistook him for a kicker.
Oh my God.
So they had a good laugh over that. So apparently he needs to build some bulk.
Don't they also have, I mean, isn't it Beasley too? He's got to be he's like, what, 5'10", I think? The guys, some of the people that you guys get. But yet
this
somehow
kid is smaller than Bailey.
Wow. So in some other NFL news real quick, just because there really isn't a whole lot going on, but there is, but there's not. So the Kansas City Chiefs released Jeremy Maclin, who, for you fantasy footballers out there, is a pretty big deal. He's going to get, he actually signed with the Ravens, so now that should be interesting. He's got a little more firepower over there. He signed a 2-year deal worth $11 million. Andy Reid, the head coach for the Chiefs, basically says that Tyreek Hill will get first shot at being the number one wide receiver. So for all the fantasy footballers out there, keep an eye on Tyreek Hill in offseason because he could be one of the top receivers out there if all things go well. The New England Patriots, Mr. Gronk says he's 100% ready to get back in the season after a season-ending injury, so we look forward to that. And good news for the Patriot fans also, Julian Edelman agrees to his contract extension, which I'm sure for him is wonderful to stay. And I know Tom Brady will love still passing to his little butt. Anyway, the Jets released wide receiver Eric Decker. He's out and about. Who knows? I think he worked out for the Titans today, actually. But what's funny out of the Jets camp is that former Husky, I love my dogs, Austin Seferian-Jenkins, he actually was the most impressive player in OTAs for the Jets, which is what some of the coaching staff was saying. So really happy to hear that. Raiders to Las Vegas. Marshawn basically has mentioned that he is not going to be playing in Vegas. So for all those here in Las Vegas, just know that you will not see Marshawn suiting up as a Raider. He basically told the news media that he decided to come back to play football when he heard that when he heard the Raiders were going to move, because he wanted to support his community, wanted to support his city, wanted to hold it down for Oakland for one last year, or I guess in this case 2 years, until they head out. So we appreciate Marshawn for coming back, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him back on the field. I'm too bad it's not for the Seahawks, but I know it'll be great. And I know Derek Carr is going to love that too. So shout out to all the Raiders fans out there. What else is going on? Oh, Adrian Peterson, I guess, is making a huge impact in the Saints in the Saints OTAs. Teammates are all talking about how he's got this ridiculous running ability. He's bursts in his strides. I mean, how did you not know? Adrian Peterson is a beast, and we would have also liked to have picked him up too, but he should be interesting to watch for New Orleans. And Melvin Ingram for the Chargers just signed a big deal with them, 4 years, got $42 million guaranteed, which is awesome. Oh, watch out, you Browns fans. Myles Garrett, number 1 pick today, just got hurt during practice, hurt his foot. Uncertain about how serious those injuries are.
Oh, no.
The Browns, man, they can't catch a break. Anyways, what else is going on? So there's
a lot of moves in basketball.
Okay.
Talking about a lot of people with potential trades.
Well, let's start real quick, though, about the finals. Finals just ended. It was a huge playoff series. No, the playoffs suck this year. Let's be honest. There was no other teams besides Cleveland and the Warriors that really came to play. Obviously, because the Warriors got up to 15-0 straight in the playoffs. So they literally lost one game to Cleveland and then came back and beat one of them at home 5-1. So there wasn't a whole lot of competition on the West Coast. There wasn't as much competition on the East Coast either. Should be interesting how things happen as far as all these trade rumors I hope do happen, because we need to get some more competition out there.
For sure. Like LeBron coming to the Lakers.
Well, I heard that he might still be stuck in Cleveland for another year or so.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I know you love that. I prefer LeBron to be a Clipper. So LeBron, if you're listening, which I'm sure you're not, but if you were, please join the Clippers just so I can really hate the Lakers even more. I don't want to hate him and the Lakers.
Speaking of the Clippers, they are moving their stadium to Inglewood.
Is it official now?
Yeah, they announced it. But it's not until like 2023 or something because they signed an agreement with Staples for like 10 years. So it's not going to be for a while, but they officially want to be close to the Los Angeles Chargers and Rams stadiums.
Well, all I gotta say is if I was a Clipper fan too, I would hate going in that damn Coliseum. I do not want to play in the same place that the Lakers play in.
We don't want them there anyways.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Some other talk. The Celtics are reportedly wanting to talk to Blake Griffin and Gordon Hayward, their primary free agent targets that they're talking.
Yeah, I heard Isaiah Thomas was on Twitter, like, following Hayward now and trying to, like, recruit. These guys, social media is a thing now. It's like major. Like you can start getting, heavily recruited by people.
Speaking of that, J.R. Smith actually liked to post on Instagram talking about Carmelo coming to Cleveland. And so that started the rumors on that one too.
That is so interesting. And here's the other thing. So game 4 in Cleveland, Warriors are up 3-0. Khloe Kardashian's in the audience, along with Kourtney Kardashian and the kids. And the kids were there. I think that's the deciding factor because we all know about the Kardashian curse. We all know every athlete these girls have gone through and how somehow they've messed up and things, they've lost season-ending injuries or championships. Granted, Tristan still lost in Game 5. However, Game 4 they won. So maybe because the kids were there. But I think in general, the Kardashian curse is real and, unfortunately, they lost the whole series. But, I can't stand them girls. So I had to throw that in there. But it was a good final. Well, I can't say it was a great final. The first 2 games, the Warriors blew the Cavs out. The third game was closer. They had come back literally within the last minute to beat Cleveland at home. Fourth game, they got, demolished. Finally LeBron shows up. And, he's been showing up, but he has no real full squad. They have no bench. The Game 5, the bench scored 7 points for Cleveland. So it was just like, how can you expect to do anything?
It was terrible.
You really can't. So,
well, the NBA draft is coming up.
Whoop, whoop.
We'll see if the Lakers actually pick up Lonzo or not. They also worked out Josh Jackson and Markelle Fultz again. So we'll see if the Celtics don't take Markelle Fultz, which it seems like they will.
It seems like they want to, and I'm kind of excited for that to see both my Huskies playing on the same team. So, Isaiah Thomas, Markelle Fultz. It should be interesting if they both get picked up, having them in the backcourt for the Celtics.
Should be exciting.
Should be. And did you know that the 3-on-3 basketball is officially an Olympic sport come 2020 in Tokyo?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of WNBA players that are hyped for it. I know some of the guys are excited for it. So this is pretty cool that it's actually going to be an Olympic sport. Maybe some of the guys from the Big 3 will head on over there too. Who knows? With some college stuff real quick, I just wanted to say congratulations to obviously the Gonzalez girls. We've had them on the show last year. They graduated from UNLV this year, last month when we were off in May, and they're foregoing their last year of eligibility, so they are going to continue to work on their music, which is out right now. I think it's Gons at Ion Gons in their Instagram. So they got music, fashion, modeling. I know Dylan has her anime, so look out for them. We really encourage these girls. To have to put away your whole last year of eligibility so that you can actually start your own career. It was interesting because Dave Bilas, one of these big sports heads, had tweeted about the twins saying that why can't they play ball and pursue their careers in music? Why do they have to choose? And that's an excellent point. And it makes you wonder, like, why do we have to choose between these two things? So it sucks for them. They have to forego their last year of eligibility, but we can't wait to see what they have coming up. So we look forward to that. Also in college basketball news, Washington Huskies, they just received news that Jay-Z's nephew, he's a 2017 commit, Naziah Carter, he's from Rochester, New York. He just got picked UW over Indiana, Georgetown, UConn, and Georgia Tech. So bam! Go Dogs. Anyways, you guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with our guest, Jessica Ng, and we'll be talking hockey.
Yo, what's good with it? It's Mr. Mike T, owner and founder of Naked Athletics Fitness Co. You say naked, I say why not? We going for muscle tone, muscle gains, diet plans, nutrition plans, any and everything to get you where you want to go physically and mentally. You can look us up at nakedathleticfitness.com, or you can reach me personally at 929-8791, or you can follow me, and that's on IG at Naked Athletics with an X, not a C, _ fitness team, or even Facebook at MZSTAMYK, and that's Mr. Mike. So contact me today so we can get you going. And remember, nobody stops you but you. And once again, that's 702-929-8791 or nakedathleticfitness.com. Contact me today. Let's get you going. Nobody stops you but you.
All right, welcome back. Today we've got an awesome guest with us. We've got Jessica Ng. So she is like the women's hockey guru, I swear to God. Jessica, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you. So give our listeners a little bit about kind of your history growing up as far as in hockey and how you got started, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So I grew up playing I guess going back. So I started out like just ice skating lessons on one half of the rink, and then I saw these kids playing hockey on the other side of the rink, and I got off the ice and I'm like, well, why am I doing this? I could be doing that. That looks awesome. So I told my parents, and they're like, are you kidding me? There's no girls over there. So they actually let me try it. They didn't think I would stick with it, and here I am still playing.
Wow.
Not as good as I used to be. But, yeah, so I grew up playing with all boys. I was the only girl in all the leagues that I played in. And actually the first time I played on a women's team was in university, which is at University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada. So it was fun. I those were the good old glory days.
Where did you grow up? Like where? I guess because some places aren't so big in hockey. I guess I know in Seattle It was for us, not necessarily for me, but there were a lot of kids that did play. But like, where did you grow up, and where was hockey kind of prevalent for you guys, or was it?
So I'm born and raised in Hong Kong, but I had family in Vancouver, Canada that we would always visit, and we would play street hockey all the time, just a bunch of kids, running around. And funny enough, one of my cousin's neighbors was Cliff Ronning, who played on the Vancouver Canucks. And he would come out and play with the kids all the time, and I had no idea. I didn't know anything about the NHL back then. I just knew I loved playing this thing where you run around and smack the puck. And so that kind of got me into it, and then I just started playing, I don't know, I started playing league probably like 7 or 8, and at that time, like, there was kids that had started when they were like 4 years old, so I was like technically behind the curve, and given I'm a girl, so everybody's like, why are you here, kind of giving me the weird look, but, I had to definitely, just like, women in a lot of sports, you definitely have to prove your place.
So you grew up, you started in Hong Kong playing hockey.
No, I started like ice skating lessons, and then in Hong Kong, they don't really have, it's a fairly new sport in Hong Kong. And funny enough, they have an Olympic-sized rink, but it's in a shopping center, like on the 8th floor, overlooking the ocean. So it's pretty crazy, like ocean view, skating around. People are checking each other, and you're like looking at the ocean. It's kind of crazy.
So was it pretty hard, like playing against guys, or like even like locker room and stuff like that? Was it pretty difficult, sort of being in a man's sport?
Yeah, at first I thought it would be, and when you're that young, you don't really have any idea. You're just like, oh, these are my friends. You don't know. But they really just treated me like one of them, like one of the guys, and so it was awesome. And a lot of us still keep contact. A few of them played professionally. So yeah, it was awesome and a good time. It's definitely easier, I would say, playing with the guys than with the girls.
Really?
Oh yeah,
you get too many chicks together, and you know what happens.
Oh yeah, you just stop yapping,
So it sounds like what I gathered from Steph is that you basically played goalie for majority of your time playing. Which here's the deal: I played softball, and the one position I swore to God I would never ever want to play was catcher. And I feel like that's pretty similar to hockey. Like I would never want to be goalie. I don't want anybody trying to throw their stick at me, crushing me.
The puck coming at you.
Yeah, puck coming at you. Like
that's why they always say, like, goalies are crazy. Like, that's seriously what everybody always says. But I was small. Like, I didn't have the size to play at that level with the guys. Because the highest level that I played was, only offered in boys. It wasn't really, women. I mean, they do now have competitive women's league, but it's still not the same as playing with guys.
Right.
It's not as fast. They don't shoot as hard. But I got to a point where so when I was younger, you kind of try coaches kind of encourage you to try all the positions. So I played forward, I played defense, and then I would rotate in with goalie with like a couple other kids. And it was the end of the second year checking league, which is entering what they call bantams, which is like, 13 or 14. Mm-hmm. And the coach said, she was telling my parents that I would have a really hard time deciding, because by that time you should kind of decide what position you want to play. I would have a hard time deciding if I wanted to skate out still or play goalie, and I just couldn't keep, they were just too big and throwing me into the boards. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna stay in net.
Did you ever duke it out with anybody? Those epic fights that they have?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the best part is if you fight as a goalie, you don't actually have to sit in the penalty box. Somebody else sits it for you, right?
That's funny.
I love that.
And I'm not very tall. I'm still not very tall. So the guys they try to screen you. People try to screen you in front of the net, and I always do the little cup check. Put the stick in between the legs and pull up a little bit. And I don't like that. Start swinging at you. And then you hope your defenseman is like, hey, I'm on your good side. I'm supposed to protect me, and they usually clean it up for me.
So you still have all your own teeth?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all of them.
How many of your hockey friends though do not have all of their teeth?
Oh, the girls probably have all their teeth, but the guys, I'm not. I'm pretty confident. Maybe only 20% of them still have their teeth.
So at what age do they start teaching you guys, screw it, just take off your gloves and start fighting? I saw there was a Facebook story not too long ago that was literally these tykes. They must have been 8 years old, and they threw off gloves. They were fighting on the rink, and I was like, that's the kind of hockey game I need to be at.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I saw something like that too. It was kids' best fights.
Right.
But yeah, no. Unfortunately, in youth league, only in the NHL, really can you throw your gloves off and helmet and start duking it out. Even in men's league, if you do that, you'll get booted pretty quickly.
Wow. So, but as far as now we'll kind of get to some of our, I guess, hockey 101 questions, because obviously, here in Las Vegas we are, and we've got the Las Vegas Golden Knights coming. They'll be starting the season this fall. Next Wednesday, we've actually got the expansion draft as well as the NFL award, or the NHL award, excuse me. So, I guess when, is it obviously it's kind of okay to be fighting in hockey. Everybody does it. You seem to just get a penalty versus other, sports like football or baseball. You guys, they get into fights, they're getting huge fines, they're getting, suspended for X amount of games. That kind of stuff doesn't happen in hockey as much, or does it? And what do you think the reasoning for that is?
I think fighting-wise, no, you'll just get 5-minute penalty. And actually, back in the day, this is kind of come down a bit. They're more focused on hockey rather than fighting. But back then, they used to pay guys to fight. Okay, here's your role. If you get X amount of fights this season, here's your bonus check. Or they had fights that prearranged already. Okay, this guy on this team's going to fight this guy, and then they would just have to go out and duke it out. It's kind of nuts. You don't really see that much anymore, just because the skill has it's really taken off, and they just kind of there gets too many injuries, the head stuff, but there are some like suspensions and things like that if it's blatant, like you're checking
Flagrant
someone
stuff.
from behind and trying to clearly just put them out,
Right.
So Melissa and I don't know a whole lot about hockey, and I'm sure there's quite a few people in this city that don't, especially since it's not really prevalent. Teach us the cliff notes on hockey. How many people are on a squad? How many teams there are? Give us the basics.
So I guess, since the Golden Knights are coming, I would say the biggest thing you need to know and to do is just follow the puck and know where it's at, because that seems to be everybody's. Like, if you're watching on TV, it's pretty hard sometimes. Like, what are they doing? Where's the puck, But I would say that's my biggest suggestion, just for, to watching live. But, so per...
Like, how many guys are on the ice? How many are in each team?
There's 6 guys that are playing, at a time, and that includes the goalie. So you have one goalie, 2 defenders, and then you have a left wing, a center, and a right wing. So the centers are the guys that are in the middle taking the face-off. Face-off is when the referee drops the puck to start the play.
Now, can all 5 of the actual players on ice go anywhere on the ice, or do they have to stay behind certain areas, or, I mean...
Yeah, you can go anywhere you want, except... So here's an except, of course. So if you're going into score, so if you're going into the offensive zone and you cross the blue line before the puck, that's offside. So you cannot go into the side that you're going to score on before the puck enters that zone.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Okay.
And that area is called a zone. So you have a defensive zone, neutral zone, which is the middle in between the 2 blue lines, and then you have the offensive zone.
So while I was watching the NHL Stanley Cup, because clearly there was nothing else for me to watch these last few weeks.
Come on.
I'm trying. So I watched actually a couple of the games, but I did watch the final one that was in Nashville. And one of the things I was wondering was, what's the term icing? What does that mean?
So icing is when you're in anywhere behind the red line, which is the line that cuts the ice in half. If you slap the puck or shoot the puck all the way down the ice before that red line, that's icing. So that kind of prevents...
it's like you're trying to kick the puck out, kind of, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, so like, when teams are, like, now they change the rules, so if a team is, like, getting crushed on their end in the defensive zone and they just whack it out, they can't, in the NHL, they can't change those guys. So they're going to be dead tired for the next face-off until they're able to get a fresh line out, a fresh 5 guys out.
Wow. Okay. Now, is there still, I don't know if this is just me, or I don't know if I'm remembering something wrong or not, but is there still a term called like high sticking or some kind of weird, like basically you're using your, what is it? Is that your what's your stick? Like you're using it improperly or something. Like, I don't know if you're using it to like.
There's a couple of things that could be called high sticking. So the first one is you touch the puck above your, I think, shoulders. I want to say shoulders. Maybe I just want to say shoulders because I'm super short and everybody else is waist, but it's my shoulders. So if you like try to knock down the puck out of the air, like use your stick like way high, that's high sticking, and then the whistle will be blown, and then the face-off will be on the opposite, back in your defensive zone.
Okay.
And then secondly, there's high stick if you hit somebody in the face. Like, you can't do that, and that's a 2-minute penalty unless they're bleeding. Then there's more time added onto the penalty.
Wow. Another thing that I question on, I guess, why is it so prevalent that they just shove each other into the walls? Like, I don't know, is that what you're supposed to be doing, or is that just like
better way to get to the puck or
yeah,
something?
or you just want to piss people off and see if someone will fight you? Is like how hard you can shove this guy into glass?
I think all of those points are pretty valid. So like checking, is to slow up play, try to free the puck up, playing defense, and just I don't know. I don't know actually how checking developed. I just know that when we were younger and we got to, because there's an age when you can start checking. Everybody was like so pumped to reach that. Like, I'm checking now, and you're like 80 pounds soaking wet, but it's not happening. But
that's hilarious.
Yeah, so like in the game, you'll see a lot of it's called board work. So guys that are on the boards, like trying to make plays from behind the net, things like that.
I've noticed that they have some like weird superstitions and things. Like Nashville throws catfish on the ice.
That's pretty nasty. Huh? I don't know how, but I think that so it started with the Detroit Red Wings. They used to throw octopus to the ice, which I don't really know where that stems from. But the guy, I think something with the guy from one of the people that was like a Red Wings fan moved to Nashville and just started chugging catfish out.
That's so weird. Well, it's funny.
Did you see that the Penguins fans, after they won the cup, were eating raw catfish?
No, I missed it.
Yeah, that's pretty gnarly.
So there, in your face.
Show you. All right.
So, do you have a favorite NHL team?
I do, and we're awful. Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, the Canucks. The Canucks. Awful. Listen, when I was young, the Canucks were huge. When I was young,
they're still big, and they're really. I don't know what happened. It's just the wheels fell off. But I did get season tickets to the Golden Knights, so hopefully they can.
Sweet.
They can revive my spirits a little bit.
So with the draft coming up, and it's the expansion draft, so there were a few rules. Like it sounds like basically every current NHL team gets to give up a player, or does that get voted on, or they just say, "Hey, we don't like you anymore. You can get out of here." Like I don't know what the protocol.
You're up for grabs.
Essentially, it's a free for all. What I've been reading about it, and it's kind of like a new thing, and all these new rules. It's literally like a freaking free-for-all. So what each team can do is they can protect, there's two scenarios they could do, in which one of them I really don't understand why they would do it, is the first one, you can protect a goalie, 7 forwards, and 3 defensemen.
How many are on each 11 team, first of all? So like how many players are on a roster?
It ranges. So,
like average?
So like each team probably, and they have their farm team system too, so they can always call up guys. So I think they have usually on the bench 4 lines. So that's 12. Let's see, 12 forwards, and then 8 or 8D or something like that. So they have a good amount of players because of injuries and shifts. So each shift is like the time people stay out on the ice. They're not very long because it's really exhausting. So they always have to shuffle through these lines,
Right.
So they're protecting, in scenario 1 was 11 players, and then scenario 2 was 8 players total and a goalie, so 9. So I don't know why you would, unless you're like the Canucks and you want to get rid of people, I would just be like, oh, I'm only protecting 8, and then try to get rid of more,
Right.
But it's about to go down. It should be really interesting. I'm pretty excited.
Is there anybody?
What happens?
Is there anybody that you're maybe hoping can get on the Golden Knights that you're hoping that maybe you could see in our uniforms out here?
I hope that they can get Jason Zucker from the Minnesota Wild, not because of skill, because he is actually from Vegas.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. We like our hometown guys.
They should try to get him, get some community support. I mean, granted, he probably didn't play here very long because the youth program isn't as developed as, for instance, California. So he probably moved away at a young age. But, he's still a Vegas kid, and he's got a banner up at one of the rinks here, and that'd be really cool if we could get him. And I honestly don't think that the Wild would protect him because he's not like their top guy. But he's not a bad player. I mean, he's good.
Well, we will definitely be keeping an eye out for his name come Wednesday. And, we just really appreciate you coming on the show. Like, I think we're going to definitely have to have you back on come when season's starting up so that we can kind of, brush off our terminology for hockey, maybe learn a couple other things. And hopefully we'll be able to catch you down at one of the games, too. Oh, sorry, what?
Yeah, I can't wait. Thanks for having me again. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I don't know if you have any, like an Instagram or anything out there that you want anyone to reach out to. If anybody has any questions, feel free to let us know how they can reach you.
Yeah, hit me up at Thug Pow Chicken. Right, you heard it first, people. Thug Pow Chicken.
Thug Pow Chicken, yes, love it. Okay.
Thanks for joining us, Jess. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, and before we let you guys go for today, I don't know about you, but if you've been watching, I'm not a Yankee fan because I'm a Mariners fan, and Yankees always took our players. But this guy, Aaron Judge, is an animal. Not to mention that he's the size of Rob Gronkowski. Jeez Louise. That he's the same size as Gronk. He's like 6'6", 6'7", 250 some odd pounds. This man hit a home run this last weekend of 121 miles an hour. He actually cleared Yankee Stadium left field bleachers with a home run, 496 feet. He is, listen, Steph, I know you don't watch a lot, we both don't watch a lot of baseball, but now that we have only baseball and WNBA to watch, we've got to do something. You got to watch this guy on the Yankees. Aaron Judge is ridiculous. So, needless to say, the Yankees, the Twins, the Astros, they're all leading in the AL. We got the Nationals, the Brewers, and the Dodgers. They're all leading in the NL standings. And we actually had the Major League Baseball. They actually had their draft earlier this week, like mid-season, which was something that we can talk about next podcast as to why baseball has their draft mid-season. So stay tuned for that. Also, the Mariners and Safeco Field will no longer be extending their stadium contracts. So next year, Mariners fans, all my Seattle people, it will no longer be Safeco Field. Watch out for that. And now, and like we said, only other sports out right now, baseball at Major League, WNBA. The Minnesota Lynx are 9-0 right now, which is amazing. We're getting close to like almost halfway to the season. The All-Star game for the WNBA is actually going to be in Seattle, the home of the Seattle Storm on Key Arena, July 26th. So watch out for that. Basically, the Washington Mystics are leading, and so are the Lynx. So watch out for those two teams. We got a little bit of oohs and ahs stuff.
Yeah, and some moments. Former NBA first-round pick Sebastian Telfair was arrested. They were pulled over for not having lights on or something like that. And he had, in Brooklyn,
lo and behold,
semi-automatic gun, loaded guns, loads of ammunition, marijuana, and they were arrested after police noticed a marijuana cigarette in the car.
AKA a joint.
Man, so if you see this picture, they had some stuff.
But it's like, it wasn't like you were rolling around with your boy, smoking a little weed, had a gun just for protection. This man had like ammunition like he was going to World War III. I don't know is there mental health with this guy? I don't even know. So anyways, that's one story. What about James Hardy? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so former NFL wide receiver James Hardy III was found dead at the age of 31.
31.
Yeah, so I guess that his mom reported him missing on the 30th of June, but she had not spoken to him till the 25th. He had mentioned to her something about like people out to kill him or something like that, and that he needed to leave town. And sadly, they found his body. Was it a water treatment plant or something like that on the 7th? I'm sorry, it was May, and they found him the 7th of June. So they said they found his car with, like, the door open. So they're not sure if it's foul play or what's going on, but that's certainly
sad.
Very sad.
Well, in more positive news, can we tell you, we already had one kick-ass chick on the podcast today with us, Jessica. There is another kick-ass, literally, no pun intended, kick-ass chick. Becca Longo, this girl is the first player to get is the first collegiate
Signed in Division II schools.
Yes, thank you for helping me out with that one. She's the first female player to get a scholarship to play football in college. And she's the kicker, and this girl can literally kick the shit out of shit.
She routinely nails 45-yard field goals in practice.
That's nothing.
And she plays basketball, too.
What? I mean, shout out to Becca. Shout out to your family. Shout out to your parents. I mean, amazing, amazing women's stories. We love to hear those kind of things. So, anyways, you guys, whew, I feel like we had to like catch you all up, and we still have more to do. But we're glad to be back. Thank you for listening. Oh, we're on iTunes. You've got to check us out. Go on iTunes podcast, search Girl Chat Sports, look for our black logo with the Girl Chat Sports in the mic. Like us, follow us, share us, download us, subscribe to us, leave a review. We would love it. Okay?
Yeah.
Steph, where can they find you?
They can find me on all social media platforms, S_Wash.
And you can find me, Melissa, on all social media platforms at Seattle, 4_life. And again, look us up on iTunes. We're still on Podomatic. We're on YouTube, all social media, Instagram and all that, at GirlChatSports. So until next time, see y'all later.
Bye.
Thanks for checking out another great episode of Girl Chat Sports. And remember, we don't have balls, but we know how to cover them. Until next time, guys.